Welcome everybody to a new My Hero Academia video. In this video I'm going to be showing you 8 new things that you might not have known about the game before. If you see anything that you didn't know before, please drop a like, drop a comment if you didn't know, if you have anything new to add, if you have any new tips that I might not have mentioned, then please drop a comment, subscribe if you would like to see more of these videos, and let's get started. So the first thing that you're going to want to know is about the existence of this little store right here in the northwest side of the main area. This store is going to help you so freaking much. It's basically a store that refills every single day, and if you go there, you're going to find a very nice cat lady that's going to actually sell you all kinds of very useful items. She's going to sell you dried fish, which is an ingredient that you actually need for a secret quest in the game. I'm going to be making a video about that later. And she's going to give you lucky cards, which are basically extra rewards for the co-op modes. And she's also going to be selling you 3 different foods right here. See? So if you're going for Aizawa, I highly recommend that you go to this store every single day and you buy everything that she has, because you're going to save up on a lot of stamina not having to farm for all of the food that she's going to be selling you. So yeah, I definitely recommend this store. I didn't know about it until like 3-4 days into playing the game, and now that I do know about her, I just can't stop coming here every single day. It's just so freaking useful. So for number 2, what you need to know is if you want to do co-op and you are having trouble, if you're having trouble getting people with a high enough BP to actually go with you, what you can do is you can just go to the cog right there, settings. You can set your visibility to invisible, invitation only, save, and then what you're going to do is you're going to match. You're going to find whatever, you're going to set up whatever it is that you need. I'm just going to put easy there, and you're going to press start matching, and then basically what you're going to do is you're going to wait, and you're going to wait 15 to 20 seconds, and what's going to happen is that, since you're not going to find anyone because you're going to be invisible, see, the game is going to give you bots. These 2 guys are bots. How do you know that? It's because they always have like very regular muggle names, like Laura something or Blair something. Those are like very common names. They're not actually, names that you would actually see as a nickname in a game, right? So these are bots. Also, their levels are going to be all over the place. See how this guy's Midoriya is 65, then Kirishima is 64, Kaminari is 60, 68, 63. See, so you're gonna see these are bots, and they are actually really high VP for some reason. You can see that the recommended BP for the stage is actually 18,000, and we have a 26,000, almost 27,000 BP Uraraka and a 24,000 Deku. So yeah, basically, if you're struggling to find people with high enough BP to help you through the stages, all you have to do is set your invitation to invisible, and then just wait for the bots, and the bots are going to carry you. So that's just very useful, useful to know. So yeah, moving on to the next tip. Okay, so for the 3rd tip, what I'm going to tell you is, I know sometimes farming, it's actually very useful to farm all of the co-op modes. They all give you amazing stuff, and they increase your BP a lot. And I know sometimes it can be a little bit tedious, because they're always basically the same thing. But do not put them on auto. If you've been putting it on auto because you think it's too difficult or too tedious, too boring or whatever, just don't, okay? Because a lot of the modes actually have like special mechanics that you need to be aware of. Basically, the forest training especially, the forest training has a lot of different things that you need to be aware of. For example, there is a certain stage in which there are a bunch of strawmen basically, and one of them has a blue dagger in one hand, and I've seen so many. It's so frustrating when people just start attacking all of the strawmen randomly instead of actually paying attention to what the game is actually telling you. You need to find specifically the strawman that has the blue dagger and attack that one. If you do that and you defeat that one, then you don't need to attack any of the other ones, because the other ones, if you kill them, they explode, and then they do damage to all of your team. So it's very frustrating. Also, for another co-op joint operation. When you fight Momo, for example, there's a stage in which you know the camera shifts and you're looking you know upside down or from the roof down, right? It's kind of weird, but what you have to do is you have to make it so that the lasers that point at you need to direct those lasers towards Momo so that they lower her shields. So there are a lot of mechanics in this game that you need to be aware of. There's another one in Forest Training, now that I think about it. There's a boss in Forest Training that basically what he does is he'll root 2 of the 3 teammates, and then the third one, the one that's free, has to run around grabbing healing orbs, because the rooting does so much damage and you're almost guaranteed to die. So yeah, so many people don't know about these things, and the ones that do really should not be putting on auto, because it's very frustrating to just take a bunch of damage because people just randomly attack the Strawman without paying attention to which one actually has the blue dagger, for example, or you know they don't run around grabbing the healing orbs, you know, so that not everybody dies. So yeah, just pay a lot of attention to that. It's actually going to help you too, because you're gonna get a better grade if you actually do things right, and because you're gonna finish faster, so you can get a better grade and you can get better rewards. So moving on to the next tip. Alright, so for the next tip, what I'm going to tell you is you can actually fuse your support cards. I actually, embarrassingly enough, I did not know this until today. I learned this today. You can fuse your support cards. Hopefully I'll have some to show you. Basically, if you go here, you can see this yellow button right here that says fuse. You can go there, and basically what you can do is you can just auto insert. Okay, so I already did it, so I can't do it anymore, but basically you're going to press insert, and they're going to, all of those trash, you know, white and green and blue cards that you have, it's gonna put them all in these 4 spaces. And basically what that's going to do is it's going to make it so that those 4 cards transform into something better, into the next tier of cards. So basically what I mean is, if I put 4 white cards here, right, one on each of these little things, it's going to give me a blue card. And then if I put 4 blue cards here, it's actually going to give me a purple card, which is very good, right? Look at all the purple cards that I got today doing that. That's amazing. And it goes forward also. You can also make this 5 stars cards. I really didn't try because I don't really have that many 5 stars, but I'm pretty sure you could possibly, if you have somehow have 5 spare 5-star cards, you can probably get a 6-star one, although it's probably going to be random, so I really don't recommend doing that, because it's probably, you know, if you have really bad luck, it's probably going to give you a card for a character that you already have, and so that's not going to be very good. Another thing that you can actually do is you can break through cards, which is another kind of hidden mechanic. If you press on any of the cards right here, you can see remove, reset, upgrade, and breakthrough. So if you go to breakthrough, basically what it allows you to do is you can put another card of the same type, basically the same card again, and what it will do is it will upgrade the card. It'll make it better, right? Let me see. So I have Midnight, for example. You can see that little 2 right there. I don't know if you can see it right under where it says level 1. So that's a breakthrough card, and that's going to just increase the power of your card and therefore increase the power of your heroes. Okay, so speaking about support cards, right? On the same matter, what you can do, or what maybe you don't know, is if you scroll down, some of these cards have actually really long effects, so you might not have seen it. But if you scroll down, you can see that each card, especially, well, not especially, but only 4 stars and onwards cards have sets, right? So basically, if you have 2 cards of the same set equipped to the same character, it will give you an extra boost, sorry. So you can see right here, I have these 2 5-stars that are actually part of a set, and it's giving me 90 extra attack points, so it's very useful. You might have not known about that because, like I said, some of the cards have actually really long descriptions, so it's a little hidden, but you can always find it. The active ones don't actually make a set, it's only the passive ones. So yeah, that's also going to increase your heroes, especially if you can make 2 sets. It's going to help you a lot. It's going to increase the BP a lot. I actually have sets for most of my heroes, I think. So I have this set, and then I have this set.
right? So those are 2 sets, and you can see right here I have 2 buffs, right? 2 30 attack buffs on this hero. So yeah, moving on to the next tip. Okay, so some of you maybe struggle with the dorm. You know, sometimes the dorm can be like a little boring. There's not much going on, and you know, for people that are like me, that you know don't really have a lot of creativity, it can be a little hard to actually, you know, care about this mode. But it's actually very useful. As you can see, I have a ton of different furnitures that give me a lot of stuff. I've acquired those with Operation X and also the story and random stuff, honestly. But they're actually very useful. I get money, I get stamina, I also get money, stamina, and I forgot which one. I forgot the other one. Sorry. Food. I get food too. Yeah. So yeah. Another thing is, you know, you need to complete the dorm events. If you want to actually, you know, get new stuff and, you know, make your room prettier, I suppose. I don't really know if there's actually any advantages to having a lot of stuff or having a lot of comfort points other than getting more points to improve your room even more. So let me know in the comments if you know about that. Like, the only actual advantage that I know of in the dorms is actually, you know, this kind of furniture that actually gives you stuff. You know, this one gives me food, this one gives me stamina, and this one gives me money, right? So one thing that, you know, one of the daily quests, I already done all of them, so I can show you, but one of the daily quests is always just that you need to fulfill the wishes of your character. Like, for example, Kaminari right here wants to sit on a chair, and you know, like, you can do it this way. You know, you just press on the character and then you press control, but it's going to be so freaking slow to actually move the character. They move so slow, so it can be so tedious and boring to do this. But here's one trick that you might have not known before. You can actually press down on the character and then move them around, just like that. And then I can just drop him in the chair, see? And I just fulfill his wish. And so, yeah, you don't actually need to, you know, to actually press on the character and then press on control to move them. You can do it just much easier like that. Just press on the character and then just move it yourself. So yeah, that's just going to make your experience in the dorms a lot faster, and maybe a lot less boring too. So moving on to the next tip. So one more tip that I can give you on the dorms is that a lot of the characters actually, you know, if you actually improve your room, you might have like different beds, like this one. You see how these two are actually beds, but you can see that, for example, my Bakugo actually wants to sleep in the bed, and you might, since he's showing that specific bed, you might think, you know, that you actually need that ugly bed to go into your super cool beach room, but no, that's not true. You can actually put Bakugo in whatever bed you want. It's going to work just fine. Let me just grab him and just drop him there. See, it's going to, oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's gonna fulfill his wish. Well, it didn't show the little heart animation, so you're just gonna have to trust me. Let me see if I can put Mineta in the chair. Maybe let me see, it's hard to see. There we go. See right there, he just got his heart, so I just completed a wish. You know, an interaction, I think the game calls it. This is another furniture that I didn't show you before. It just gives me a random gift every 24 hours. I also got this. I think I got this one from Operation X. So yeah, you really want to do Operation X, which leads me actually to my next tip. So for this tip, what I want to tell you, this is the last tip. What I want to tell you is, do not feel, you know, afraid of doing events that are actually like much higher than your own BP. For example, let me show you Night Ops, right? To farm chips. Do not be afraid to farm you know, stages that seem to actually ask for you to have a lot higher BP than you actually have. Just try it. Just trust me, you really need to give it a shot first before you actually realize whether you can do it or not. Like, for example, you can see right here that the recommended BP is 31,000 and my Bakugo is at 18,000, but I can perfectly farm this stage without any problem whatsoever. You can see I'm at 41% completion progress. It's just, I've been farming it with Bakugo this whole time. So yeah, it's kind of deceiving. Some of the events actually are as difficult as the recommended BP tells you it is, and some of them isn't. Some of them aren't. Night Ops is one of the ones that aren't. It's gonna ask you for like ridiculous BP, like 31,000, but you can perfectly do it with an 18,000 character. Just make sure that you try different characters, because sometimes the DPS on one character is gonna be a lot higher than with other characters. Like for example, if I tried this stage with my Kirishima, even though he's 18,002, I'm not going to be able to make it. I already tried this many times. It's because Kirishima is actually a reactive character, so he doesn't actually have a lot of DPS if the enemy is very passive, and in this stage the enemy is actually very passive. He only has like 2 attacks. So yeah, just try different characters and actually try, even though it has almost double the BP, the recommended BP from the BP that I actually have. Just try it. Trust me, you're actually going to be surprised. Another thing that on that same branch that you should do is hero ratings. Same thing, exact same thing. It's gonna ask you for a lot. See how this one is asking me for 22,000, and I did it with Bakugo, who has like 18,000. Actually, at the time that I did this, I think he had like 16,000. This one is not as pronounced as the Night Ops. It's what I was telling you before. So this one, for example, the next level asks me for almost 26,000, and like, even though I can do it, right, I can actually do the stage, I'm not going to be able to do it in under 45 seconds, because this actually is like the recommended BP in these stages is a little more legit than in the Night Ops. But again, just try it. Maybe sometimes you can just try it and you can pull 1 star or 2 stars, and it's just helpful, because see how I just pulled 1 star with Suyu here, because it's just gonna boost your account either way, right? You're just gonna get points here, and you're gonna get your whole account boosted. So yeah. So those are all the tips and tricks that I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something new. If you did, please drop a like, leave a comment if you know of something else that I didn't mention. I'm gonna make another video for the dried fish and the secret quest that I mentioned before. So hopefully you enjoyed. Subscribe if you did and you want more videos like this, and I'll see you next time.